Welcome to AJHD, a podcast for open tabs and open minds.
If your brain has 42 windows open at once and half of them are Reddit threads you forgot to finish, you're exactly where you belong.
We dig into petty revenge, real life horror, unhinged drama, and true crime that makes you say, hold up, wait a minute.
Hold up, wait a minute. It's ADHD storytelling with a side of caffeine, curiosity, and chaos.
So grab a snack, mute your notifications.
And let's get into it. All right, let's do some stories. You want to go first or me?
I'll go first just because I'm really a big fan of
Your story.
the title. It's pretty captivating. So today we're going to get into an Am I the Asshole story. We are going to start off with Am I the Asshole? Lizard gender reveal story. I can't not laugh at that. This one's about a gender reveal, but not for a baby, for a lizard, and it turned into a family fallout. Am I the asshole for not attending my daughter's gender reveal for her lizard? This is literally really stupid, but she's really upset about it. So my 48-year-old daughter, hold up. This is literally really stupid, but she's really upset about it. So my 48 daughter, 23, has a blue tongue skink who she heavily adores. She jokingly refers to it as her daughter. I found it weird, but she says it's because it's the closest thing she'd have to a child, and she feels a strong emotional bond similar to a child. I get that.
That's fair.
Who's bringing in a kid to this society? That's what I want to know. She's decided to remain child-free for multiple reasons, and I have been very supportive of this decision. Well, she recently took her skink to the vet for a checkup, and she was excited to find out her skink's gender. Do you just pick, did it say what the name is of the lizard? I have questions already. Do you just name it something gender neutral?
I don't know. You kind of just lost me already at blue tongue skank. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I know a couple blue tongue skanks.
Skink.
But yeah, like gender neutral lizard names.
When we got my two cat, are you familiar with Jay and Silent Bob and Clerks?
Yeah.
And all
Oh
that?
yeah, Clerks is like one of my favorite movies.
Great. So my two cat, we named them Dante and Randall.
Fuck yeah.
Right. So we find out about like 6 months later, Randall's actually a girl.
Perfect.
So we started calling her Randy for a while. Long story short, we changed her name to Isabella. It just Randy wasn't fitting her, but this is kind of the vibes it's giving me. So after she takes the skink to the vet, she calls her dad. So she later called me and expressed she was kind of sad that I didn't come with her. It's been a while since I've seen her, but she understood why I was busy. So I told her she couldn't actually expect me to come to a gender reveal for a lizard, right? She said that it wasn't a real gender reveal. It was more of a joke. And it was just a really small gathering to kind of just catch up with everybody. An excuse
to
like
get
have
to,
a shindig, as we all do, guilty of
for
it.
sure.
I don't know. I'm kind of like on the side with the daughter right now.
Well, I'm assuming this gets very out there.
Buckle up because it's pretty long. So I told her if that was the case, she should have just called it a gathering because I'm not coming to a gender reveal unless it's for a real granddaughter, which I feel like is really close-minded of him. She got
Humor her, you know, like just it's your kid. It's your kid too. So if your kid's sick in the head and having gender reveal parties for a coffee maker, you better be there. You know what I mean? To be like, what the fuck happened?
And that is the least of your
Also,
worries.
good for them. You know what I mean? She's not like doing not having kids or having kids and then not having them.
You're
She's
not
got a gecko, a lizard.
You're not invited to an intervention.
Yeah,
You're
right.
not there to be
You're probably wondering while I brought you all here. You're getting a collect call from Multnomah County. Oh man.
Exactly. This is not nefarious at all. I don't understand. He must be a
Just go.
Republican.
Yeah.
So she hung up, got a message from her best friend about how I'm an asshole for treating her that way, but I don't think I'm the asshole for not wanting to go to a party for a lizard.
Fair. All right. No, I mean, okay.
I would.
Like I'm listening. Yeah.
We'll see. So there's an edit. In the time that I was away, got many replies, and it was a lot to read. Let me clear a couple things up. I don't think it sounds like he didn't read
At all. Yeah.
So my issue is that she said the party was a gender reveal. If she had called it just a party, I would have come. But calling it a gender reveal makes it sound like it's for the lizard, and I'm not going to that even if it is a joke. Okay.
Could these be like super?
Go.
damn it, I was gonna say, what if it's just like super conservative values, like no daughter of mine's gonna be.
Yeah, sounds like
I'm not
your
going to
dad.
some kind of gay boy party. What you change? Does it change its colors too?
I only hope
That thing was pink yesterday. I don't trust nothing like that. Blew my ass.
It's a blue skink. Don't you already know it's a dude?
Right. Oh shit. Yeah.
Well, also like, yeah, or like just be grateful.
Dude, if my kid wanted to have a gender reveal party for his Monster Energy drink, I'd be there.
Yeah. Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
What else do you have going on?
Nothing.
You're 48.
Right. And you still have your kid in your life. Anyways.
Yeah. So he doesn't know why that matters, but the skink is a girl, which is why I said I'm not coming to the gender reveal unless it's for a real granddaughter. Even though I don't agree with my daughter for being child free. There we go. I have been supportive, and only shown mild frustration. The reason she decided to be child-free is she claims she's asexual. Maybe she's on Lexapro.
For reals.
She just doesn't want one. She has emotional baggage and feels unable.
What a smart daughter. What a smart daughter.
So emotionally intelligent, and I bet he gave her the emotional baggage.
For sure.
She feels unable to care for a real child. She fears pregnancy, and she has a career. I'm so sorry. And she has a carrier gene like me and doesn't want to go through what I did. I had 4 miscarriages, and I'm so sorry. I think that I've projected a bit in this story because I think I've said him quite a few times. I think I've just replaced the
It's a mom and daughter.
with my dad. It's a mom and daughter.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Sorry for that assumption.
Things that make you go, whoa.
Really shattered my reality there. Okay, so the mom had 4 miscarriages, a highly defect child, something about the sentence doesn't sound right to me. A highly defect child that died after 3 months due to the gene. Okay, yeah, if these things are happening, why would you ever want to go through trying to get pregnant?
And you're supportive of the only daughter that you've had, so you've got a 20% miracle just in the stats that we have that doesn't want to go through what you went through and has told you that and is still taking on a lizard, something to care for. And she, instead of look at how long this story too is, she could have had a 4-minute conversation with her daughter about it. It probably took 2 hours to type this because she's older, so she's not like Chat GPT and anything.
Going all out on, okay, this is crazy because like, even if your daughter wanted to have a child, like you were saying, the chances of her like conceiving a child is like,
and it sounds selfish. She's like, even against my wishes, like,
I bet her mom's name is Karen. That was crazy to me. I'm sorry I lost my spot. That blew my mind. Yes, there has been slight tension between us because I think she hasn't found the right man she never dated growing up. Oh, whatever. And her other fears are unnecessarily exaggerated. I am fuming.
This mom needs to talk.
I'll be this person's mom. I'll come to your lizards, whatever. But it's ultimately her decision, and I don't resent her for it. Sounds like you do. We haven't even seen each other in 3 months. I'm a single mother, and we've always been close, which is why she invited me with her friends. I just didn't want to go to a party with the lizard. If you were close with your daughter, like genuinely close, I feel like you would go to the party with a lizard.
For anything. Hey, I'm cleaning my carpets tomorrow. Want to come over for dinner? Like anything, any reason. When I was living closer to my mom, I would just have her come over so she could do manual labor with me. You know what I mean? And she was like, fuck yeah, I love it. And I'm like, hell yeah. And I loved it too because nobody wants to do that shit by themselves. It'd be like lasering stuff, but it's not fun after a while, Get
a friend to go run errands with
you. Oh, 100%.
Go by, it's so much more enjoyable.
Want to go to Costco with me? That's the real homie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's for sure. That's wild.
Did it come with a conclusion?
Yeah. So she says, I just didn't want to go to a party with a lizard, and even if it wasn't for the lizard, she should have called it a party. I don't know why she's such a stickler on that. So the verdict is
the people have
spoken. Overwhelmingly you're the asshole.
Yeah.
The mom is.
Yeah.
Right? Not surprised.
Okay, right.
Top comment. That's your grand lizard. And yes, they were serious. Users were also pointing out that the mom ignored the daughter, told her multiple times that it wasn't a literal gender reveal, just a way to see friends and family. The daughter's identity, being asexual and child-free, was central to many reactions, especially since the mom repeatedly dismissed them both and also isn't necessarily that person's information to publicly share on the internet.
As we podcast about it. But no, I get it.
I mean,
hey, they put it there.
They put it there. And we're on the daughter's side. So if you're
For
watching
sure.
this and you had a gender reveal party for your
Or you
blue
want us to
skank,
come.
or you want us to come,
I'll attend anything with a blue skank.
a birthday party,
Anything. If a muffin reveal party,
oh,
you know.
is it blueberry or chocolate chip?
Are there raisins in it? Do you want a World War III? You know, like,
We don't care. We'll be there.
yeah, we'll be there.
With our strong opinions. Yeah, so they were also saying that the daughter might be child free precisely because of how she was raised and treated, which kind of goes back to like what we were talking about earlier. Totally makes sense to me. The overwhelming consensus, the mom wasn't just skipping the lizard party, she was rejecting her daughter's identity and
For sure.
like personality.
So much wrapped in there.
Yeah, and being very dismissive and like not validating. And I feel like also too, I get the sense that like they're close, right? But it doesn't seem like the mom is trying to like give any what is the word I'm looking for? Compromise into like
Right.
her daughter's life, and her daughter's trying to compromise, and this is like her trying to bring her mom into something,
Right.
but her mom is just like shutting it down.
Her mom's very like tunnel vision. It sounds like she's selfish in the sense that she wants a granddaughter, you know what I mean, real bad. Also, like you said, she probably gave her the baggage, so it's not like, hey mom, you know, maybe like, hey mom, will you come to my recital? She probably never went, you know what I mean? So hey, now that we're older in life, like, hey mom, will you come over just because? Isn't something she feels comfortable asking her mom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
totally
crazy.
Yeah, so for the listeners, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of reflection, just to think about the scenario and ask you, would you go to a lizard gender reveal if it meant making somebody that you love feel seen, or would you draw the line,
the boundaries
at reptiles? Yeah.
Would you go to a stuffed animal reveal party? Like, when is it okay? Like, when does it become actually sick in the daughter's head? Where the parent is like, where people are like, okay, no, that's not a lizard, that's a teddy bear.
I think
you know,
it like alters their like actual perception of reality and like how to function in a
for sure, they're starting to live in a make-believe world a little too much. We're all doing right now.
Like too hyper fixated on it, spend too much like
obsessive
time about it. Yeah.
Names their chat GPT Echo and talks to them all day and forgets about their friends.
And then Echo sends them a very desperate cry for help.
Dude, I thought my chat GPT does not like me.
I think he likes you. I think he's just
overwhelmed. And I ask him too. I'll ask my chat GPT when it's not doing what I want. I'm like, are you good? And it's like, yep, just too much turtle power, you know, because I'm like talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at that point for some reason.
As you do.
Which one do you think I would relate to most? It's like Master Splinter.
You're like taking
the rat.
The online quiz.
Yeah, the Cosmo version of which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle are you?
Fuck your zodiac sign.
Yeah.
You're a teenage mutant.
You're a mix between Shredder and the rat.
That's really funny because I got you the rat pizza sticker.
I know. I think I'm gonna put it right here, like on the corner of the laptop.
Speaking of Ninja Turtles, I was at a 4-year-old's birthday party on Sunday.
Did you crash it or were you invited? It's a valid question.
A little bit of both, right? So it is a...
Wait, you got a lizard?
I'm here for the gender reveal.
Yeah.
It's a really good friend's kid's birthday party. They're really great parents. They raised 2 kids that aren't insufferable to be around. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. Is that some...
I heard there was food.
Yeah, no, they provided pizza. I went and helped them set up. It was just like his daycare friends, and his parents didn't know the parents either. So it was like, not like...
Oh, it's like a social.
Yeah, but like not like their clique of like...
Right.
So I didn't feel excluded because they're like, I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Right.
Anyway, so there was an ice cream truck, and one of the other parents our age was like, I'm gonna go about the ice cream truck. And I was like, you go do that, I'll be here.
Yeah, come back with the intel.
Yeah, so his girlfriend or wife, partner, whatever, she goes, so what do you think he's gonna get? And I said, cartoon character with gumball eyes. She goes, I don't even know what that is. And I was like,
what?
Okay,
SpongeBob.
He comes back. Yeah, that was my thought. I thought SpongeBob. I didn't say specifically. He comes back, Ninja Turtle, gumball eyes.
Fair.
Yeah.
I've like that, like one of those like goals that I've wanted to have for a while is like owning an ice cream truck. Like certain things, like just go, because like why not? Like you could still make a killing. You could sell a little more than ice cream too. I'm not talking about like Wheaties or Genius, but
Oh, more than
yeah,
I.
but like shit, dude, I'd be like making like, yo, we got lumpia today. Like I'm coming with egg rolls. I got tamales.
chips.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
got tamales. Like
There used to be where John's Landing is, like on Waterfront, there used to be a big lumber mill, and my mom and her brothers used to all, I don't know if they owned it or they worked there. They tore it down to make high-rise apartment. Anyway, there was like a neighborhood lunch truck, and it was like a giant
oh, I
ice
love
cream
those. I know
sandwiches, chips, every drink.
spaghetti and meatball, biscuit and
like a
gravy. Like it's
bodega.
yep, it's so
So good.
versatile.
Yeah, I love those. Why
Get no
don't we
orders. Get me Friday. Get me Friday.
why
Like
don't we have those anymore?
I don't know. That's actually like another like food truck. Like I want to make like a thing called Oompa Lumpia and like literally sell only lumpias at a festival. You know how like Dump City Dumplings?
Yeah,
They've got
that's
4
so
dumplings.
smart.
2 of them sell out immediately.
Yeah.
When the other ones are sold out, they're gone.
And it's like always good to
Yeah.
have. It's not like
And you could
too
do
heavy, but it's like filling.
exactly. And
Yeah.
you could do like lumpia. Like I was thinking about like getting weird with it. Like you could get like hear me out, like a mashed potato, a gravy, and like turkey mix and like freeze it in a silica, like and roll that thing up. So when you deep fried it, like the gravy melted onto the like just or have like a sweet version, you know, bananas and Nutella and
Cranberry sauce dipping sauce
there you
for
go.
the turkey
There
gravy
you
mashed
go.
potato.
See?
But yeah, just
And
no,
and
like
it's very festival food.
yeah.
You gotta overcharge for it, of course, because you're at a festival, but
Yeah.
that's how you're printing money.
No, that's such
I have
a
no
good
problem
idea.
paying $20 for chicken strips at a festival kind of thing.
Always big portions
For sure.
too, which is really
And you're only
nice.
eating 1 meal a day anyways, and it's by force.
Not on drugs. Like
Yeah.
I'm not on drugs, but you're just like running around doing
Yeah.
other stuff. The
It's
excitement, like you're not
108. You don't want a
yeah.
hot ass burger.
Yeah, man, those trucks need to make a comeback.
They really
We
do.
should do
They still have them. Like I watch actually like TikToks of people who run those trucks, and it millions of views because people are like, "Yo, I used to have one that came down to my first warehouse job when I was 16. They had the best cheeseburgers. There's some Chinese lady driving this big ass truck. Like we used to have one that came to the auto body shop I worked at like 9 a.m. every day, and it would literally have like biscuits and gravy, hamburgers, spaghetti, like everything homemade, ready to go and wrapped. And it was, and they wouldn't let you pay on Monday. They came and got everybody on Friday, which is smart because I don't want to get $7 a day from you. You want that 50.
And also payday.
Yeah, I want that $50 bill every Friday. And on Thursday before payday, I'm like, you know what? Let me get 2.
Yeah.
So they knew, they knew what they were doing.
Well, and that's so smart. And the ice cream truck, there is a park in Selwood on 7th, like a few blocks up from like the Oaks Park entrance. There's like a pool, like a public pool, and it's like mostly grass with some like kind of dirt trails through it. And my mom's brother's wife, so my aunt,
Thank you.
her brother, so my aunt's brother,
some dude,
yeah, uncle, he had an ice cream truck, and it was like one of those 3-wheeled ones. It was like the small cart. It almost looks like the parking ticketing people. There's like 2 wheels in front and 1 in back.
Oh yeah,
or 1 in front.
I call them meter mollies where we come from. Okay.
Yeah, one of those.
Because you're like, no, please. Yeah, I'm leaving. Or yeah,
a little cooler in the back.
Clean.
He would sell ice cream.
Oh, genius.
He let us take it once, and normally he does like it's supposed to be on the street.
Did you guys go into the parks?
And we're like 4-wheeling it, and there's
you didn't stay on the cart path.
No, and there's only room for like 1 person to like sit in there, and so my cousin's driving and I'm like sitting like with half my body out hanging on to the thing, and we're just like anyway, that's my ice cream truck experience. What do you got for me today?
So a little bit of tech petty revenge.
Okay.
I used to like make websites and stuff from people like when growing up, like when it was hard and you couldn't just do it on your phone. Now I just do it on my phone, but
okay. You asked Chat GPT to do it for you?
Yes, 100%. This one's about revenge, a ghosted invoice, and someone begging over an elvish jewelry store. And I saw this and was like, okay, like I don't want to read the rest of the story and give it away to myself because I want to read it correctly. But what the fuck is an elvish jewelry store? It's like, are we misspelling Elvis? It's all about elves. It's a jewelry store that has elvish stuff.
It's giving like weird Portland like antique.
It is such a like this is where that story goes.
Everything is like Lord of the Rings.
It's
It's like
and it's got its pricing too.
It's pricey. It's like neat.
Yes.
Maybe some like weird, unique cut.
You know how we buy Third Eye pine cones?
Yes.
Little things for way too expensive.
Big stone
Yes.
rings, or like they probably have those like niche wedding rings that are like triangular,
100%.
like
You can get the
octagonal.
actual Gollum ring type.
Yeah. There's some like moss agate and everything.
Okay, so check this out. I landed a project to write a landing page for someone selling fantasy-themed jewelry. You got it. You know, mystical symbols, elvish runes, magical forest vibes, real Lord of the Rings energy. I actually hadn't read that part yet. We agreed on a performance deal, no money up front. I'd get 5% of sales. So that's huge from a web designer. Instead of like, no, give me the money now.
Yeah.
He's like, I believe in this. Let me get 5%. I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's like, you don't pay unless we win.
Yeah.
You know, okay. So her store was small. So I figured I'd make, you know, $300 to $800 mostly. I wanted something for my portfolio.
Plot twist, it's my store.
Right. I wrote the page, built it on her WordPress site, and she started running Facebook ads. So I'm like, this is right up my alley. And it actually worked. The landing page was converting. She made $120 day one, 200 the next, then 150, 360, and more. By the end of the month, it had made her $6,000. I was excited. $300 in royalties for just a couple days work. I was feeling pretty great. Then I sent the invoice and she disappeared.
Oh no.
Yep. No replies to emails, no return calls, total ghosting. 3 months go by, she's still running the ads, still making money, and I still have back-end access to her website.
Oh,
Yep, your
I
brain's,
would love to be
your
in their
brain's-
shoes.
your brain's in the right place.
I'm a petty asshole.
Then I get a message out of nowhere. My site is down. Are you doing this? Please stop.
Now you hear from her.
Okay, so check this out though. I didn't touch anything. Probably just her cheap web hosting. But I knew this was my one shot to get paid.
Oh.
So I played it cool. I messaged her. Sorry, but I'm not going to talk to you until you pay me what you owe me.
Good.
I didn't threaten her. I didn't admit anything. I just looked suspicious enough to scare her. She called me immediately. I explained that I still had site access and could see exactly how much she'd made. I told her I wanted the 5% we agreed on, which came out to just under $1,500 at that point. So she's
So that's
still
a
3
ton.
months, $1,500 at 5%. I'm not, the backwards math on that is over 20K. It's well over 20K.
That is like a
5% of, of 100 is,
chunk to
yeah,
lose out on. That's not just like a couple $100.
right.
That's small claims court shit.
So, which came out to just under $1,500. She agreed, hung up, and wired me the money right away.
Of course she did.
Then she messaged me again, asking me to please enable her website. That's when I replied, I had nothing to do with your website crashing. You should talk to your hosting provider.
Got him.
She never messaged me again, and I got paid with ever laying a finger on her site.
Good things do happen to good
Right.
people.
That was a good petty revenge. That's why it made the story, because usually petty revenge is so petty that Reddit turns on the OP.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like, fuck you, you should have went to the lizard party. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't
No.
petty at all. That was petty, but on your part.
That was
like,
justifiable.
Right.
That's not petty. That's
when he used the information provided to him, you know what I mean? Like,
he made the assumption. That's not his
for sure.
fault.
Well, and I remember being in that, like, it taught me so many life lessons being 15 and 16 and making someone's website and them absolutely walking all over me. Like no upfront payment whatsoever. And then the full website's done and they nitpick at you over your shoulder for 6 hours.
And it's like, cool, you build the website.
Right.
If
And
you
this is
were-
back in the day where it was an actual skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not just like a plug and play type of deal.
I'm going to pause real quick.
Yeah.
All right. This is story 2. And we can go whenever.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Audrey! I can't remember what he's yelling at her about, but
It's very high. He gets like so high pitched. He's like,
all my life growing up, Aubrey was the name, not Audrey. And that was like my first run-in with like my name being in something. You go to the club
yeah.
and they have keychains. My name's never on
oh,
those.
same.
And so that scene is like my really good friend Austin. He used to send me that video all the time. It's very nostalgic. Okay, let's get into it. So this was not in any specific like it's not an am I the asshole? It could be actually, but it's more of just like an advice. Like this person is just kind of shouting into the Reddit ether.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it got.
Journaling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it got classified as, but it's not like a petty revenge or anything. So to set the scene, do you ever, you have ADHD. So I'm gonna assume you understand this. You ever lose something and you like start to question your sanity?
All the time.
Okay, but
It's the remote control or the vape, and because they're always right touching one of my legs, and if I can't find it, you stand up and there it is.
yeah, those memes of like the girl tearing her room apart.
Yeah. I act like that wouldn't be me, but I also always have a vape by me, so I don't know. But yeah.
I buy those Farmer's Friend. It's like the only CO2 weed vape cartridge, and they come in all glass cartridges.
Oh, nice.
And I always set it on my lap, and then every time I stand up and I'm looking for it, then I hear the crash of it on the ground, and
Which is horrible.
if you're on the wrong floor, the glass cart will break.
shatters,
It's a whole thing. Okay, so you ever lose something, you start questioning your sanity, you're going a little cuckoo, but do you ever question your boyfriend or let's say your partner? So this next story is going to take us from scrunchie confusion to a whole new level of what the hell.
Okay.
So the OP, all of her scrunchies started going missing when she met her boyfriend. She starts off with, I feel like I'm going crazy. All of my scrunchies started going missing when I met my boyfriend. Trigger warning.
Scrunchies and trigger warning in the same sentence. Who would have thought?
No, the trigger warning is for the, I assume, straight white boyfriend. Trigger warning, sexual content, fetishizing behavior situations.
18 and over.
Yes. So, this is recent. I got to check back and see if there's an update because the original post is May 2nd, 2025. So she starts off, she says about a month ago. So it would be beginning April. Not an April's Fool's joke, unfortunately. About a month ago, I became official with a guy named Tim. Tim is great, really responsible, honest, has a good career, etc. So far, our relationship has been going great, aside from the fact that since I met him, my scrunchies started going missing. I don't know about you listeners, but I instantly knew where the story was heading as soon as I started getting into it. I grew up with a lot of boys, so it was just... Anyway, it sounds stupid, I know, but I always stash scrunchies throughout my apartment. I use them every day and like them to be easily accessible. She probably has ADHD.
I was gonna say, I do this too.
Yeah, me too.
I find them in spots, like there's one on the couch, there's one over here, there's one in my bed. Oh, there's still one in my hair.
The dread that it's just embedded permanently. It's a part of me now. I have some in my bathroom, both my bedrooms, living room, car. I probably had about 20 plus scrunchies randomly dispersed throughout. I'm down to 6, 3 of which were safe in my car. At first, I thought maybe I just lost 1 or 2, but before I noticed that the entire stashes were missing, I couldn't figure out what was going on. It got annoying because anytime I go to reach for one, it's just gone. So for example, I have a drawer under my sink where I'd kept about 5. It sounds crazy, but I tend to take them, tie my hair back, do something else, and then they get lost in like a different room. So you've like relocated your car scrunchie is now in your bathroom.
Right.
This assured me I would always have one wherever I am. The drawer now has 0. The only factor in my life that has changed is my boyfriend. My dog doesn't bother them, but even if she had somehow gotten into drawers and taken them, eating them, we would be in the pet ER.
Right.
We've seen them in the poop. 14 scrunchies is a lot. I don't think anyone is breaking in to steal my scrunchies. Maybe people have their thing, not to yuck anybody's yum, but like clearly somebody has a thing for scrunchies. I know I haven't lost this many, she says. That does seem unreasonable. Is my boyfriend secretly a ferret? What could he possibly be doing? Oh, she's so naive that she had to.
I still have no idea what is happening at all. Okay.
You were in for
I didn't start using hair ties until well into my 20s, so I don't. Go ahead.
I think I might need to provide a little bit of context in a minute, but let me see if we get to it. It might make things make sense a little more. My friends are joking that he has a shrine of me in his closet.
Some A. Arnold stuff.
Yeah. One of my friends thinks he's stealing them to test if I notice things go missing, and he has plans to steal more, which has me sort of sketched out. He's never been in my apartment alone, but he's somehow finding enough time to be alone to do this and not have me notice. Does anyone have any ideas? I was going to confront him. I don't want to be accusatory of him and over something so silly, but I literally just don't get it. It's driving me crazy. Help. We have an edit. Any
Okay.
thoughts or predictions before we get into the
I
edit?
mean, my thought goes to something just really bad. Like, there's fetish, there's a dude, and then there's hair ties.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, like, is he putting them on his dick or something? Like, I don't.
Scrunchy cock ring.
That's what I'm like. I don't. But why does he need 20? Like, what's going on over here? Is it gonna fall off?
Like accidentally makes a mess on him and doesn't have the heart to give him back. Yeah, maybe they're not the right size. Who knows? We'll find out, I think. I would hope. So the edit is from the OP. Some of y'all just aren't any fun. Obviously, no one but him knows. I just wanted to preemptively prepare myself for reasonings as to why he could be doing this. Also, it's just kind of funny, so I wanted to share. I thought the way this was written would kind of show that, but some of you guys are taking this way too seriously. I am not in the comments right now. We'll have to revisit it, and I can go through the comments at a different time, but I think they're maybe roasting her, giving her a hard time.
Or giving her just, nothing but dumb answers. That's Reddit for you, too. There's probably a couple vote for me 2025 things, and Reddit don't care.
He's planning on coming over tonight. It's definitely on the agenda to ask him where they've gone. At this point, he says he doesn't know. I'm just going to set up a camera because now he's lying and needs to be called out, or someone unwelcomed is in my apartment stealing my stuff.
Right.
Someone asked if it could be made dog, but I've pulled my couch out since this has happened. They're not stashed anywhere. 99% sure it's not her. She's old. She sleeps. It's not the dog. A lot of people think that he's been tidying up, but it's impossible because I haven't found them anywhere. Update.
Good.
Y'all, he just left and I have to write this out now while it's fresh in my mind. So, as many of you came at me for not doing immediately, I had a talk with him tonight. I had planned on it, but when I discovered the last batch of missing scrunchies this morning, I snapped and I just wanted to get some ideas of what he could be doing with them. Most of you are wrong, but a few of you beautiful, twisted, sick people got it right. Without further ado, allow me to provide my best recollection of the conversation. OP. I keep losing my scrunchies. It's driving me nuts. The boyfriend. Yeah, but I'm so sorry. She's saying I've had a lot. Now there's just none at all. She's watching them dwindle. So
Gotcha.
She's actively seeing it happening. His demeanor changed. I pressed him some more, saying I never saw them on his wrists. Couldn't figure out where they were going. I got frustrated. I raised my voice, demanding to know. At which point he admitted he was masturbating with them. I just kind of stared at him, and for a second I was glad I made the post because the initial shock wasn't as bad since it was already brought to my attention, she says. She wants to know, is this common? I had him explain, and he said that one night early on, he was at my place and we had made out, but I told him I didn't want to have sex. He shimmied away to the bathroom and he had looked around for something to use as lube. I only had scented lotions and he was worried that I noticed that he smelled like it. So he chose the next best thing, which he at the time thought was it was one of those big velvet, oversized plug.
So the horny MacGyver's gonna fuck a scrunchie.
Because it's like soft and silky and like moves against your
but imagine
skin.
like being in the bathroom like just looking at that
been
scrunchie.
That horny, I don't think.
Was it also the color? Like what if it was like and you're just a little bit of teal?
Yeah. He's like,
I lightweight like that
smells
color.
like you. He's like, oh, Target brand, I love the teal.
I'll give you a scrunchie.
So after he defiled my poor scrunchie, he apparently panicked and rinsed it out and put it in his pocket.
Oh my God.
I guess this experience ignited something within him because then he started taking them to masturbate with. Also, I might add, those scrunchies, $6 a pop.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Condoms are cheaper. If you're gonna jerk off, don't do it in my scrunchie. Why would you even say that? I just feel like I have to now for some reason.
It's like on your Tinder profile.
Yeah.
As long as you don't jerk off with my scrunchies.
Yeah.
When I asked why he didn't keep up with the same one washer or buy his own pack, he said,
why didn't you name it and keep it?
He said he felt better because it was mine. Cute, I guess. He told me he would never take another one, apologized profusely. He even offered to buy me new ones. Well, he wasn't manipulative or scary. Some people thought he would be. I still don't love that the trust has been broken so early on because he did steal and lie from me.
And it's weird.
I asked for space. He left. So yeah, I don't really know what I plan to do from here, but now we know. Apparently, scrunchies of your loved one feel really good if anybody wants to give it a shot, with permission, of course.
Anybody listening out there?
So today's reflection. I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay.
Would this be a funny misunderstanding to you, or a sign that it's time to scrunch up the relationship and toss it out?
I like that wordplay.
I feel like I'm on her side where it's not that he's doing it, because if that's your thing, like that's actually kind of hot. If you want to do
like
that
if you're into
like whatever, communicate about it. Also you stole and lied.
And that's gonna make for a really crunchy time later.
It doesn't say how long they were together, but she does say this early on, like having issues this early on. So I don't know.
And then it is pretty recent, so next episode we can update what's going on kind of right here.
Yes, I bet you I will look for an update tonight.
All right. And my story is ongoing as well. So I hate to do it, but we're gonna give them another story and then we'll revisit. But like it's the full story. It's just that there is more because people have interacted.
But I feel like my paragraphs are like really chunky and long. I feel like it's probably not that long because it's like just spaced and separated out into like small, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Go with it.
I had it set it so it's like that. So with pauses and stuff.
That's really nice.
Because then I'll just go, so.
I know. I tried really hard not to do that. I need to put my shirt back on.
All right. So this one, I remember going through it because I did this one like a month ago. And I feel like I had it for a reason. It was more of like being aware. And then I was bummed out because there wasn't any update. And then now there's updates. But okay. It even says intro needs to be in a serious tone. So I'm going to let you know right now, this is like every girl's nightmare. I'm aware of these type of nightmares, but hopefully the guys out there can understand like that this is a fairly common occurrence. This is a very specific story, but girls get hassled. That's just like, it's life and it's not cool. And
yeah.
But here, you'll be grateful after this. So today's story is intense. It's not just creepy, it's dangerous. This is about a woman working in tech who's dealing with a coworker that's gone from flirty to terrifying.
Oh.
So it's coming from a woman. I work in a male-dominated tech firm. For the first few months, I kept to myself. Didn't even learn most of their names. I used the language barrier as a shield, but the truth is, I just don't like socializing at work. Fair.
That.
Even if it's like part of your job, you're like, ugh. Then in April, something shifted. A coworker started small talk, saying he wanted to practice English. He asked me simple stuff, favorite food, stuff like that. I told him pancakes and burgers. A few days later, he said another guy wanted to take me to a pancake shop. I said no. So now he's already like talking about her is what I'm picking up already. Then that other guy started talking to me directly. He's technically my senior, here for 6 months, tall, broad shoulders, always moves slowly, watches everything. He'd say things like, "See, good girl."
Ew.
I know.
That's a HR.
Yeah. Then he asked me where I eat, who with, if I go alone, or with a man. So the picture we're painting of the guy, I can already see him in my head type of person. One of those, like, if you follow girls around, like, he thinks that works. Shoving his phone in their face, like, put your number in here, thinking it's like a suave when it's like a restraining order violation, you know?
Yeah.
So he'd say things like, good girl, ask where you eat, blah, blah.
I'm sorry. That's disgusting. Please don't do that.
I gave vague answers. Eventually, I told him I had a boyfriend, even though I don't, just to get him to stop. That's when he said, if you really have a boyfriend, prove it. Call him now. This is at work. Then came the
at work.
Yeah. This is a coworker.
Crazy.
So here come and you've got the quotes over here. The jokes. You're so tiny. You should sit on me.
Ew.
I could lift you like nothing. Followed by, sorry, maybe that sounds different in Russian. So he's trying to and now we've got a creepy Russian, guy. Come on, So
that's disgusting. We should pause and scoot you over.
Okay. So then came the jokes. Maybe that sounds different in Russian. One day, in front of 2 other women and some men, he points at me and says, this one's my favorite body type.
Ew.
And then he does a thrusting motion with his hips. Some of the men laughed, not nervously, just like it was a good joke. The women went silent.
At work? Why is this person not fired like right now?
It gets
That's disgusting.
then it escalated because it's not already escalated enough. Then it escalated. After work, I was alone on a train platform. He came up behind me, put his hand low around my waist,
Nope.
across my stomach, and whispered, "See, so tiny."
Ew.
I said, "What the fuck? Don't ever touch me again." He just smirked and walked off.
No.
And this is a recent story, like very recent. 2 days later, I got a follow request on my private Instagram.
So ballsy.
No real name, no public links, still somehow he finds it.
Oh.
So she's completely like
So
just a
he's
scroll.
like,
Yeah.
put in the work.
Then I started seeing him outside my dance studio,
No.
the smoothie shop, the bus stop near it, multiple times a week, just standing outside, waving like we're friends. We're not.
There's something not right. Like, I feel like I'm emotionally and mentally.
I
with
feel like
this
something
person.
really bad's gonna happen, like just reading this.
Yeah, this reminds me of somebody, Skylar Duran. If you're watching, got you.
It
guys.
reminds me of the show You
Yeah.
know?
I know a guy. Skylar Duran.
Sorry to all the Skylers out there, not. Okay, so check this out. So then I'm seeing outside my dance studio, the smoothie shop. The studio is 30 minutes away from work. No one knows I dance. I've never talked about it, but he's there regularly. He says I'm being weird when I bring it up.
I wonder if she's checked for a tracking device. Because this is like current, right? So like
Yeah. So last Friday, I passed him near the office's side exit. Didn't say a word. He looked at me and said, "You can ignore me now, but we'll talk soon."
No, we won't.
Then,
No, we won't.
then he kept walking. That sentence gave me chills. I feel sick with dread. I haven't reported him yet.
No.
I'm afraid I won't be taken seriously.
You won't.
But I've started, but I've started documenting everything, writing down every comment, every
Good.
appearance, every moment. So we do have an update, and it's community response and advice. Commenters have immediately urged her to speak to HR, document with timestamps, and record it if it's legal.
Yeah.
'Cause, like some states you can't.
Yeah.
Others said to carry pepper spray, add door locks, install cameras, and tell family and friends. I'm gonna stop myself. Isn't that sad that there's nothing that you can do to stop that person? You just have to let's get you that big old deadbolt you've been eyeballing on Amazon.
Well, you should just carry
Oh, sweetly, looky, I
one of
got you a
those-
pink Glock 45, Glock 9.
those,
You know,
like kitty
yeah.
brass knuckles.
Here's a kitty brass knuckle with razor blades attached to it.
It's like cool, or we could not have to be worried about, I don't know, living our lives.
Right. One comment said, "Honestly, this is how people get murdered.
Literally.
You need to report him to HR, file for a restraining order. Even if you can't afford it, get away from him."
That's an unhealthy obsession.
Right. And I don't know I've never been in that work environment, but I feel like I understand what work environment they're in. Like I'm a techie person, but I've been in sales places like that. Sales are typically dude ran. The girls that can hang are girls kind of like you. And I don't mean the hang like with the bad jokes. They're like sales chicks that are just wheeling and dealing. But
Dealing with the punches.
and women in that industry too, they're like, well, you're only getting sales because you're talking to dudes.
Yeah.
It's never like because
you're good at your job.
Yeah, it's never. It's well, like she's got a benefit to we've got to work from blah blah. So
yeah, it reminds me a lot of like the situation I found myself in the cannabis industry with all of the rich white investment bros.
Oh yeah.
And like being a woman in cannabis and being with all of those types of people that don't know the actual like inner workings.
Did they treat you like a secretary from the 1960s kind of thing?
So one time this guy brought me everything. So Oregon recreational legal cannabis is tracked through like computer system with RFID tag. You have to make a manifest. You can transfer and accept things. You can also reject things if they're out of compliance. This guy comes to me. I'm supposed to be purchasing terpenes from him. He brings them. I weigh them. There's a weight discrepancy. Out of compliance. Tell him it's wrong. I'm rejecting it. And he has to speak with my manager. And I was like, I am the manager. Surprise, it me. So yeah, a lot of that kind of stuff. But also, yeah, those work environments too. Like some of those companies don't have HR. And a lot of the times, like they don't think it's a serious problem, but people do end up schmurdered because of people like this, because there are people that key sound. If you have an obsession that's unhealthy, like like that's a red flag that that's a dangerous situation.
Right.
When it's not just them reaching out digitally, it's like
For sure.
they're
Okay.
finding you.
So this is kind of crazy. I was able to find the update for after this already.
Oh,
So I'm gonna. There's only like 2 sentences left for anyone who felt left hanging right now. Honestly, this is how people get murdered. You need to report him to HR, file for a restraining order, even if you can't afford it. Get away from him. Another user added that thrusting comment alone with witnesses should get him fired to the moon. Right?
Yeah.
That's very like that's a what's it called? Zero tolerance. You know what I mean? Like
Thing.
okay, but some caution that HR often protects the company, not the employees. That is 100% true.
Yep.
And she should prepare for pushback or even retaliation. So the question is, what would you do if you felt someone was tracking your movements, but no one seemed to take it seriously? And that's kind of where it ended, and I wanted to get it out there. But let me read the update. So thank you all for the kind comments. Since it had already crossed into my personal life, I didn't see the point in giving my firm a chance to mishandle it, so I didn't take the HR route. I had written records, screenshots of his emails, messages, his number, multiple text me accounts. I was able to file for a temporary restraining order the same day. 2 of my coworkers said they will support me, and in a few weeks I'll be petitioning for a full restraining order.
That's crazy.
I'm not from Russia, and for privacy reasons, I won't say where I am. The man is of Russian descent. He speaks English perfectly, except when it's time to say something inappropriate. Lastly, I've received messages asking to use this post for YouTube content. I do not give permission. That means other YouTubers are like, yo, what? This is a real ongoing situation and has literally flipped my brain inside out. Please respect that. And of course, we're gonna I have the notifications on for this update, and it was in Creepy Encounters.
Yeah, that's really creepy and concerning. And especially I have had to like file for restraining orders through the court system, and it is notoriously hard to get them
100%.
granted, even with so much evidence. Like, and some of it like puts you in a dangerous situation. I think like the last straw that the court told me I had to do is that like in person, I had to tell them like with witnesses and like recording to like leave me alone. And it's like, I don't want to be that close to somebody.
Right.
Or it's like the restraining order is like within 50 feet, and it's like they could shoot me.
Right.
They could also not obey it. So like
a lot of people don't. A lot of the true crimes I watch end one of 2 ways, and it's they asked for a restraining order, the court denied it, and then they were killed. You know what I mean? Or it's they got one and the dude, you know what I mean? Like it's okay. So we are on to story 3.
Got it.
Go ahead.
This story is from Today I Fucked Up. Today I Fucked Up.
I like these. Sorry, I love these. It's like one of my, because it's like people know how bad Reddit can get. Like you're getting an unfiltered response if you type this and hit clicked.
And also just like it makes you not feel alone
100%.
in like the situations that you find yourself in.
Right.
So today I fucked up song dependency story. I am a man who can only perform sexually if a certain song is playing and it's ruining my life. Ask me anything.
Oh my.
So, as bizarre as it sounds, casually dating for the last 6 years since my wife passed away, no matter how attracted I may be to a new partner, I literally cannot achieve and maintain an erection unless I'm able to listen to one specific song, ideally on repeat, in the beginning of and for the duration of the whole entire act.
Okay.
Obviously, this is made for some awkward moments and conversations with partners when I try to explain it, and is negatively impacting my love life to the point where I feel embarrassed and without hope.
It's oddly specific.
I feel like I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as they were like communicating with me openly, but also
you'd want to get that dealt with. There's some unburied something, or
clearly you have OCD.
Or like you were hypnotized at the fair once, and he was like, anytime you hear "I want a real body," you know, like
I need to know like what the songs are.
Right.
I feel like I wouldn't have a problem with it unless it's something like really
well,
bad.
and it's Ask Me Anything, so I'm excited to hear what Reddit thinks about.
What would be the one song
Oh God.
that would be like, no, we can't do that anymore?
Maybe Anything by Tool.
Oh God, that would be insufferable. And I'm just thinking about the type of person you'd be sleeping with. No, I could not be me. So it was lost my spot. Okay. It's such an unusual issue to have that even my therapist isn't. I'm so sorry, I gotta restart. It's such an unusual issue to have that even my therapist therapist hasn't encountered it, but thought I'd post it here because people I've told in real life are interested in it, though I don't know if anyone here will be but open to answer anything you'd ask. But I'm open to answer anything you'd ask.
Shoot away.
So he has like a edit. At first I was worried saying the name of the song because I thought someone I would be able to identify me. Knowing it's me. Okay, this makes sense. It was me and his wife who's passed.
Oh.
It was their first dance.
Oh.
And you just like
that went really cute and sad at the same time.
I know.
Poor guy. Okay, keep going.
Knowing it was me and my wife's first dance song, but fuck it, that was 10 years ago. It's not a funny song like the comments might have hoped, though definitely a funny predicament to be in. It's called Heroes and Saints by Nicola Grandian. I butchered that name and I don't know what the song sounds like. Would you like the spelling?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up while you keep reading. Let's see.
So I think it's very romantic and beautiful. Others might not. Edit. Since people keep asking, I've tried erectile dysfunction pills, but they don't work. Presumably because the cause is deeply and exclusively psychological. It is ingrained in there. Oh, I bet he loved his wife.
That's what I'm like. He's literally like.
This is so romantic.
Like a depression ED.
Yeah, and I guess some people didn't see where I said this is exclusively. Oops, never mind. Sorry, cut that. More edits and responses. I need to find this and find the comments. I didn't think about reading the questions they were asking him, but he might. Oh, he doesn't get into it. I'll have to find it. This blew up. Wow, I sort of regret naming the song because the song itself isn't really the point, as I've said, and people are fixating on it. To respond to other comments I'm seeing, I've tried earbuds. Good. I was hoping it would get into a couple of these.
Right.
I've tried earbuds once, but the woman was so perplexed and off-put. So you didn't tell her you're putting earbuds. That's like a George Costanza move.
Right.
I sort of got discouraged, but I will try again. Thank you. With somebody I will build trust with. As for a comment I saw saying I wanted to get views on this random song from a soap opera from last decade. It's not the song itself, guys. It's not even the type of song I generally want to listen to. Also, yes, I'm in therapy, but I haven't tried psychedelics yet. Appreciate all the positive energy, funny jokes. Thanks, guys. I have the post saved on
you open
Reddit.
That? I don't even know, like, if we have to cut this and if it's really silent on a video on YouTube later or anything because we're playing what could be copyrighted music, but I'm gonna
do it up. This is the tempo you're having to fuck
sex it.
Wall.
Yeah, you can't help. Okay.
That's so. It's a sexy song.
I don't know. 527,000 views.
Probably only because of
Probably because of him. Okay, we're building up. Got an Enrique Iglesias to it.
I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but if I was a male, this would kill my erection, not keep my erection going. Boner killer.
Okay, I'm gonna skip it.
Kind of sounds like some Ed Sheeran weird sad.
It sounds like a. Oh God, quiet. Dude, he's. I mean, that obviously we're not vibing with it. That's complete love of his wife. I'm sure, like gazing into your lover's non-sexual, like you're not naked. You know what I mean? He said it was their first.
He really gets with his wife.
He probably, like you said, he loved her so much. This story is very sad, actually. Like,
and
he basically was like, "Hi, I can't get over my wife. Ask me anything."
He's dead.
Fuck.
And the thing is, like, memory, like things are so emotionally tied to songs, and so I bet he can just like see that vision of dancing with his wife.
Sure.
He's just like,
for sure, and that's what takes you for reals. And he's like, and the comment of even my therapist hasn't heard this one. I can imagine him being like, okay, later, and then the therapist just fapping it to Hero by I can be your hero. You know, just he's like, oh my God, it does work. It cures depression.
Commenter 1. When I was in college, met a girl who was 17 at the time, just become sexually active with her boyfriend. The routine they developed was to go to his house, put on a specific record, have sex. This went on for several months. They broke up. She became dependent to a certain song playing. She actually became so dependent on the song playing that she would become sexually aroused to the point of climax.
Wow.
When
So
the
this
song
is a
played on the
thing.
radio without
This is crazy.
the mind is a crazy thing. I was considering becoming a counselor, and so she was aware of the treatment plan they developed for. So I was aware of the treatment plan they developed for her. She was brought into a darkened room where the song was played many times in a row till she became desensitized. Took several times to break the habit.
Wow.
Commenter 2, I bet if a patient, okay, there's a typo. I bet if somebody who is patient let you have unlimited tries without the music, you would eventually get there. Might take more than a few attempts, but maybe that's the journey you have to go through.
The right person to be like, hey, I get it. Well, and also I feel like, not that you're like, you get sympathy, but people are very empathetic, like obviously to someone whose wife died, because then the girls that I've seen, they're like, in their mind, they're like, oh, that poor guy was literally the perfect husband, and then his wife got taken away. Like, you know what I mean? You add a baby stroller to that, and
patient as fuck for that man.
right, that's what I'm like, those are.
Dude.
And those are seen as, high tier men because they are, well, usually, like, unless they killed their wife. But
yeah,
I watch a lot of true crime.
Yeah, like,
but
so
yeah,
we do have an update.
Okay, there we go.
I figured I'd update you guys on my weirdness, my weird ass erection problem. Before I give the update, okay, no. So he's in CBT therapy, which is cognitive behavioral therapy.
Is that kind of like what you were talking about?
Yeah, so like breaking the habit. They do it. I'm in CBT for OCD to like try to stop breaking
Touching the door 4 times and shit.
Yeah, it's stuff.
We're gonna practice leaving the room.
Yeah, so saw some comments pointing out that there's a Billie Eilish song with the same melody of the song that I mentioned.
They're just trying to get better versions.
I don't know why that was brought up. I'm so sorry for throwing that in there.
Here, let me make you a playlist.
Saw comments asking how she died. You guys,
dude,
what he was.
What if she died during climax of the song?
She was hit by a drunk driver.
Oh fuck, dude.
Hypnopis. He's tried hypnosis and CBT. It's been the solution so far. The update is I had successful sex. With a date.
With a woman.
Last night.
Okay.
Without the song.
My boy.
By doing intensive therapy sessions throughout the last 2 weeks to finally break the association.
See? And that brings to our sponsor, BetterHelp.
He says.
Hey, good for him.
Didn't last long. Not unusual for me anyway, for context, in case you wanted to know.
Internet.
Love a 3-pump chump. But it's progress, he says. And that's it. Also, don't drink and drive. He works for an anti-drunk driving organization, and he can't say which one it is, but...
Protect that man. Protect that man.
Crazy. Yeah, man's you single? One last thing I was going to do really quick. Sorry, my brain is starting to shut down. I'm going to the original post. Because that's where the questions were. There's really not any questions. Everybody's just like, not a freak. That's fine.
I mean, that was pretty wholesome.
Reddit is beautiful sometimes in the most unexpected ways, is what somebody said. Everybody, best of luck. I'm here to support you. No matter how much if people think you're a freak, you are at least 2,000K plus people who are the same flavor of freak.
Right.
Is what somebody
gonna match my freak.
Yeah. Are you American? That comment.
Oh, that's for sure. Well, the song wasn't American.
Yeah, so. It's just a funny. I was on a Reddit, speaking of a funny comment, and then I'm done on this one. I was on a Reddit thread that was like, what is something like uniquely beautiful that like draws you to a woman? And all of these comments are like, oh, she can make me laugh, if she is like mothering, if she's
simple things,
listens to me, no physical attributes. And then at the bottom, I'm like scrolling through,
I just want to be seen, like,
yeah, validation, like, oh, it thinks that, is really into me, like shared hobbies. And then I'm scrolling, like happy tears. I mean, this is so wholesome. I get to the bottom, there's just one comment that says thigh gap. That got me. That's a good one.
This one's a short one, if I remember correctly. It's Am I the Asshole? And I'm pretty sure Reddit got on their ass, and it's more of a like asking the listeners. You're gonna love this shit. So the title of the story is Tinder Catfish Wedding Story. So that's in 4 words. All right, this one is messy. Am I the asshole for pulling wedding money after my son got caught cheating by his own fiance who catfished him? So,
woof.
Yeah, so here's a post. My son, who's 23, got engaged a few months ago. Recently, he admitted he'd been messaging a girl he met on Tinder.
Yeah.
Already not great. He's engaged. Mother talking about her son.
Yeah.
But plot twist, the girl on Tinder was actually his fiance.
Oh,
She
brother,
made...
you're in trouble.
I've seen too many episodes of Catfish. Where's Neve? Where's Neve? I know you're in the back. Okay, so the plot twist, the girl on Tinder was actually his fiance. She made a fake profile to, quote, test if he'd stay loyal, and he didn't. She confronted him after he flirted back. Okay, now here's every mom ever coming in. Now, yes, my son screwed up, but I think creating a whole fake profile to bait your partner is also manipulation. I guess point, okay.
Yeah.
If you feel the need to run a sting operation on your fiance, maybe you shouldn't get married.
That's facts.
Okay. So I told my son I wouldn't be paying for the wedding anymore. Okay. I'm like, all right. Some
Mom.
families say I'm punishing both of them unfairly, but I just don't want to support a marriage built on lies and games. Am I the asshole?
Oh, fuck those clowns.
Right?
You don't owe that situation anything if it was a different situation with your kid.
Right.
But
Well, she's paying for it. So it's not even a will you come to my lizard party, wedding,
not your money.
Right, not your money. So the community reaction summary. Reddit was divided, but not in the way you'd expect.
Oh, shit.
Most agreed that both the son and his fiance are in the wrong, but he's the one who cheated. Top comment was straight up, neither party is ready to be married.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, at that young, I got married that young, we were quickly divorced. Like, others argued that this wasn't even catfishing, it was collecting evidence. They believe she already knew or suspected he was on Tinder, made the fake account just to confirm it before confronting him. So, like, not even that she was, like, a shady person just testing him. She was like, yo, they're kind,
I understand that, but also I feel like
if you're having
like
those
a manipulative
feelings,
way to, like, justify
for
it.
sure, for
Not
sure.
saying
And
that
we don't know
them.
how, like, vanilla this got before it came to Reddit. So
yeah.
So one user said, you can't blame her for trying to get proof. He was already on the app. That's not a trust test. That's confirmation. Another Reddit said, or user said, this isn't entrapment. He walked into it by being on a dating app while engaged. A few people even joked that OP should save the money for the divorce on his next wedding. However, OP, the lady, did get called out for somewhat called moral bias, being more mad at the fiance's deception than at her son's own cheating.
Yeah.
A few, said, you seem angrier about the sting than the actual betrayal. That's odd. So it said, so the question to the listener and you is, do you think this was a toxic test or a smart way to expose betrayal? And would you still fund the wedding?
Both, and I would not fund the wedding.
Fair. I think not funding the wedding is an absolute. And also, like, let's say, my parents did fund my wedding. If they were like, yo, we're pulling back, I'd be like, the fuck? That's a really major thing.
Let me think about it.
I'd reassess. You'd have to reassess.
I would murder my son and then use the money for his funeral.
Bang. Cheap funeral, expensive vacation. Some lady got a lot of flack on YouTube, and she's like, my husband, like, he's getting buried today. She's like, I'm in Jamaica. She wasn't like there to meet a new man. She's like, it's what he wanted. And I'm like thinking, that's actually not like that bad of a thing. Like, hey, on my day of the funeral, like, you don't have to be there. Just like let them bury me and take all the homies out. You take, or if we've got kids or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude you've been texting behind my back the last 8 years, hit up.
So many partners would be really like supportive of doing that.
And if you're like, that would show a good partner too. Like, I guarantee you there's a ton of people that you wouldn't even mention, like, hey, after you die, I'm gonna move on. You would just not say anything.
Yeah.
Because you knew it would piss them off or whatever. And it's kind of their
totally.
Is that a vape that separates and one's a battery and one's a pod? Yep.
Battery?
My friend just showed me that and I was
pod.
like, yo.
You can smoke this.
What? Oh.
Without the battery, because it charges it.
Genius.
Double battery life.
Wow.
Fits. If you're going to a show.
And I'm trying to quit.
Fits in your pocket. Fits in your.
And has enough battery.
Pack. Don't have a big bulky vape.
What's it called? Sponsor us on our first.
Off Stamp. It is by Lost Mary. You can find them at the Smoke Shack or Vape for Less on Barber Boulevard.
Damn. This is also brought to you in the future by BetterHelp.
I'm going to
If you're
CBT therapy.
right,
Stop
if
smoking.
you're as fucked as we are and want an app version of a therapist,
Yes. I have to email this potential home
right now.
I'm renting back real quick. I can't stop. All right. So this is from Reddit Creepy Encounters. It's called the Roadside Silhouette. The OP starts out with, I saw something I shouldn't have seen. Never a great place to start.
Right, for sure. I'm intrigued.
It's 12:34 a.m. and I'm in the bathroom writing this on my hotel. At midnight, while driving up here, I'd pulled over to take a leak. The place I'm headed to is in the rural part of the state where there aren't any light posts on the road. It's just my 2-lane, a dip.
A dip?
My brain just shut off. It's just my 2-lane, a dip into a grassy divider, and then it's the other 2 lanes. As I get out and start taking a piss, I naturally look to the side to see if anyone's coming. While I look back at the way I came, I see 2 vehicles coming, but far in front of their lights, they see a silhouette, like a black blob that's just in the middle of the road.
In between the cars coming and him.
Yeah, they
Like lit up by the cars coming in.
yeah, just kind of like scurrying across the way, like the alien in Signs. So he says, I couldn't make out what it was until he like looked a little bit longer. It was a person who's walking towards him. They were a ways away, probably like 300 to 400 feet. Looking at him, I could tell he was getting closer, and he was lobbing something into the air poorly across the road we were on that lit up blue just briefly.
Okay.
See something.
Right.
Blue fly. I got back in my car and looked in my rearview mirror as the truck and car got closer, moving my car at a snail's pace to see if they would see him. But before they got too close, the blob ducks into the grassy divot, and the guy just drives away.
Okay.
What was the guy doing is the question. Most commenters believe that it was probably a houseless person or a tweaker trying to avoid being seen by cars. Others joke that it wasn't that OP wasn't supposed to see it, but rather just a weird late night moment, which I should have read this all the way through. Very anticlimactic. I'm going to have to check for an update. They mentioned checking to see if there were any prisons nearby. Could be. So like they're getting like nefarious,
right,
sneaking,
skinwalker.
Most agree creepy, but not likely dangerous. Just extremely off-putting at that hour, especially if it's dark, it's late at night. I am gonna check Reddit real quick, see if there is an update. No update, but 185 upvotes of how do you know you weren't supposed to see that?
Yeah.
Both you and I have no idea what you saw. Edit, because he started hiding again once other cars got closer, and he's doing this in the middle of the night where no one is. I thought it was like sketchy. I'm like, yeah, it's sketchy, but like be a woman walking around at night, then tell me.
For me, it's just like Jeepers Creepers, literally like the movie, like they turn on their headlights and there's that crazy thing in the middle of the road. I actually like every time I'm driving at night, I think about that. I'm like, how crazy would it be to see a figure in the middle of the road? To like, I didn't know where that story was going, but fuck that either
It could be
way.
so many different things.
I don't like that. I'm not a fuck around and find out kind of person. I'm a nope.
Get the
and
fuck
I'm
out of
yeah,
there.
absolutely.
We do not need to know what that is.
I don't need to know what. I don't care what it was. It could have been a shadow, a twig, a person running full speed at me. You know, what are the chances that he like was why is this dude pulling over on the side of the freeway just to pit, you know, like it's 2025, you could just pull in so many areas.
Super in a rural neighborhood.
Oh.
So, like if it's late, nothing's open.
So that's what makes it even scarier.
So scary.
Dude, 6 miles from the nearest quick trip on foot.
Yeah. Top comment, plot twist.
Okay.
OP's the crackhead.
Oh, fuck. Like those things, the videos where it's like, hey, he pulls up to his ex-girlfriend. I thought you said I'd be a loser. And he's like in a Ferrari. And then it cuts to him and he's just drugged out sitting on the curb by himself.
Yeah. Somebody says he's probably moved out of the road so he wouldn't get hit by the car.
Right.
Coming.
Or the guy that's pulling off into his little den.
Maybe he was taking a piss like you and didn't want people to see his cock. Somebody says.
They didn't want the hog reveal.
Something that was lit up was probably the cell phone. And then he says, no, he's throwing it across the road, not picking it up, and continuously walking towards me. Read it again. Okay, he's getting really upset because he's just getting completely roasted.
He confused us, too.
Like yo-yo is what someone says.
Well, you never seen a dude with a yo-yo?
You should write it again because that shit made no sense.
That's what someone wrote?
Also, pissing outside is ratchet. Yeah, these comments are great. The answer is obvious. You saw the hash slinging slasher.
For sure.
From SpongeBob, if you people don't know. He was casting spells. Bigfoot, probably a drone. He saw you unzipped his pants and automatically thought you were cranking it. Oh my god, you saw a person walking at night. The horror. Jesus, we're doomed. People need to go outside and touch the fucking grass.
Oh my god. You can count on Reddit.
Yeah. You're off the I-5 somewhere. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, that was it.
I didn't know where we were going, but I like where it ended.
I'm a little dissatisfied that we'll never know, but I like all of the different theoretical versions.
Sure. Also, like, I'm not like skinwalkers are real, but I'm like, I've seen some weird shit. You know what I mean?
Slender Man.
Well, and also, like, even just like this building was built 3 years ago, but I often question what it was built on top of because, like, there's some weird shit that's going like,
yeah,
like this place is too new to have some of the sounds that it has. It's like Aziz Ansari though. He's like, what would you do? Have like a future ghost? It's just like,
yeah,
boo.
That's hella funny.
So this is like this is cute when I feel like this is like a people that don't know that this isn't petty revenge. This is fucking amazing. This one's petty, perfect, and over 30 years in the making.
I love a long con.
Yep. Reddit blessed us with a revenge story that's about timing and a little sass. So here's what happened. At her 40th birthday, this woman received a card that read, "Lordy, lordy, look who's 40. Classic roast your elder humor probably sent as a joke." Well, she kept it for 30 years.
Oh no.
Fast forward to the original sender's 40th birthday and boom, she sends the card back. Same card, but now with a note of her own. Right back at you. Oh, LOL. The card had survived moves, decades, and probably a few arguments, but the pettiness still fresh. Says commenters were obsessed. One person said, "That's not petty, that's elite level planning." Another said, "She waited in the shadows and she struck."
Oh, she waited for her moment to shine.
And that's your aunt though too, so you know everybody's like, "Oh, she still got it.
Fucking got
she
you.
burned you."
Oh, that's a good one.
And then so this one comes with a question for the listener's reflection, and then obviously you put that in the comments. What's the longest you've ever held onto a petty idea just waiting for the perfect moment? Do you have anything that comes off your top of you?
Oh.
Are you in a long con? Maybe you can't talk about it, now because it hasn't happened. You're 17,
I would probably have to think about that a little bit longer. A couple of things come to mind. One necessarily isn't. So let me figure out how to phrase this.
It must be really petty.
It's not. It's not that it's not petty. It's more so that other people are just kind of. I don't want to say stupid because a lot of people were fooled by this. And I just like have kept it up with one of my friends. My Instagram name is Audrey Dabshaw.
Right.
My last name is Bradshaw.
Right.
We've talked about how people have thought
it took me a little bit. I just was that. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a friend who I've been friends with. I mean, and I've had that Instagram handle since I started working in weed. So like 2015 when I like first
10 years
Instagram. She thanked my last name because she addresses packages to me because she lived out of state. I won't say which state because that'll give her away. With the last name Dabshaw. And anytime at like my wedding or her wedding invite said Dabshaw on it, and I just haven't had the heart to correct her.
Do you think it would hurt her feelings though? Like it could be kind of fucked up. I could see how people would be like, "Damn, why didn't you tell me?" But then I'd be like, "Oh," but you let it go too far for sure.
At the point where I actually realized that she thought that was my last name, years had gone by. Right? So like I kept it going only because like I don't want to say too much about this person, but it would feel to me like it might be hard for them to break the habit or know me as something else. So it doesn't.
You're gonna take it all away from them.
I don't want to crash their reality.
Right.
So like it's not harming anybody. So it's not like a long con or anything. My family has a lifelong petty thing, and it is buying me birthday cakes and addressing birthday cards and getting ornaments and named things that are Aubrey because I get called Aubrey all the time.
For sure.
They've kept it up for like 30 years, and I am so tired of it.
So if there's anybody out there named Aubrey that wants a shit ton of stuff with their name on it.
Oh girl, I got so many keychains for you. Or boy, they them.
All right. right. Are we on for, oh, I have a quick petty thing
Yeah.
that I'm holding on to is my kid, whenever I would make him food, sometimes you kind of have to trick him, or like not trick him, but hey, are you hungry? I'm going to Jersey Mike's to get food or something like that. No, I don't want that. Probably Judd wanted McDonald's, or he's a kid, we want a can, whatever. So I'm like, you know what? We're not even gonna go to Jersey Mike's. I'm just gonna eat here. It's what I say. I go to Jersey Mike's, I order my sandwich the way I like it. I sliver him off like a small sized portion, give it to him. He tells his grandma that I made him the best, like nobody makes a sandwich like, he's like little Don, nobody did is the best, sandwich. And so his grandma doesn't know that the sandwich, because whenever he was like, yo, can you make me a sandwich? Because after this, he's asking for them, I would just shoot out to, because it was special, and like that was something that I held and I never told her.
So you're gonna need to get a recipe card and write the sandwich. Jersey
Oh, for
Mike,
sure.
address, phone number. Seal it up or hide it in a cookbook. Give it to your kid.
Right.
30 years later. It's gonna blow your kid's mind.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I'll make the sandwiches my dad used to make for me.
Right? Time capsule.
My reality. I just
Get your ass in the car and go to the nearest Jersey Mike's.
It's like a map.
like a Google map, or what do we call them? MapQuest?
Oh, fuck, he's gonna get lost.
Oh, man.
It's gonna blow his mind.
All right, we're moving to story 5.
I got it.
Okay, let me pull mine out while you start yours.
Mine's not a story per se. It is just somebody asking a question to Reddit that was
Kind of like the song dude.
yes. Dispatchers.
Oh.
What is the stupidest reason someone has called 911?
Okay, I'm
How
loaded.
did you respond?
I love this one already.
So the person says, I'm not a dispatcher, but I love watching silly 911 calls. The calls where people say their food isn't ready, or how long does it take to cook, or how long does it take to cook a turkey? Who is calling 911 for that?
Oh, that's illegal, by the way.
There's Google. To the dispatchers on here, what was the stupidest reason somebody called 911? How'd you respond? These are all pretty short. I'm just gonna kind of like rattle them off.
Give me the tea.
All right. The Xbox heist that wasn't. A woman called 911 furious that her daughter wouldn't give back an Xbox. After questioning, dispatchers discovered the daughter was an adult, lived on her own, and owned the Xbox. Realizing this, the dispatcher calmly asked the woman, ma'am, did you just call 911 to ask officers to help you steal an Xbox from your daughter?
Oh my God.
The woman hung up. Like they don't have your number.
For reals.
Officers still went to location as it was classified as a domestic call, but they
have to show up too, because they don't know what's going on, like in the corner, like, and get off the phone. No, nothing, it's all good.
And then somebody's like being murdered,
which happens.
They're taking these reports.
I agree. Okay, so cops show up.
Yeah, confirming it was just a petty family squabble. That should be in petty revenge.
Right.
Screaming for a lost car. One dispatcher shared how people who start calls in hysterics often aren't in real danger. In this case, a woman was shrieking and crying, claiming her car had been stolen outside a Walmart. The dispatcher tried to clarify which Walmart she meant while preparing for the worst, only for the caller to abruptly interrupt her own screams with, oh, I found it. Just forgot where I parked.
Oh my God. I mean, I forget where I park every time. Even though my phone's like, you parked over here. I'm like, but where?
I would literally scour far and wide
before I called anyone. I would break it down to a systematic thing where I looked only to the right and walked every aisle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, I would not call 911.
That's literally so embarrassing. Imagine somebody writing a Reddit post about you, and that's what it's about. Balloon alert. During a hot air balloon festival, a concerned citizen called 911 to report several... I'm so sorry.
Several what?
A concerned citizen called 911 to report several large balloon-shaped objects in the sky.
Damn.
That was rough to get through. The dispatcher had to inform them that, yes, those are actual balloons in the sky called hot air balloons from the very publicly advertised event happening that weekend.
That probably is yearly.
Limo drama among dancing bears. A caller reported a drunk man stumbling through traffic during a Christmas light display at a local park. The 911 dispatcher asked for the location, and the caller responded with, we just passed the dancing bears and are coming up on the skating penguins. locations.
Okay, good.
The dispatcher paused, confused, before realizing it was a well-known seasonal display and couldn't wait to broadcast the location over the radio. Okay, what a waste of time. The suspicious tarp. A caller reported a suspicious tarp in a field. Why suspicious? Why? Because it hadn't been there the day before.
Something fishy about this tarp. It wasn't here before.
Whoa. That's crazy. When police didn't respond fast enough, the caller phoned back hours later, this time concerned because the tarp was now gone. They insisted they should investigate it because that was even more suspicious.
What do we pay our taxes for? Get out there.
Suspicious Sunday Amazon delivery. An older gentleman once called in to report a suspicious package on his porch. When the dispatcher inquired further, it turned out to be a box from Amazon, addressed to him. Please help me find my blanket. A woman called 911. Not to report a crime, but to inform them she had found her blanket. She had earlier reported it stolen from her vacation cabin. She wanted them to know. These are rough. Can police teach the prairie dog rules? A resident called 911 requesting an officer come out to teach the public not to feed prairie dogs. Another caller complained about a neighbor smoking brisket and not offering them any. The same dispatcher also recalled somebody calling to complain that a police horse, to complain that a police horse didn't have tail lights.
That could be a really good joke. Tail lights.
I thought
you could clip a light on the tail.
He could
even be a blinker. He could even be a blinker. You're cut off from puns.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
I wonder where all these calls are coming from. Like, I don't want to like be like, oh, this specific place has a higher call volume, but I feel it could be.
He was worried that a drunk driver might hit the horse at night. Fair, but I don't think that they walk in the middle of the road. Heroic parenting. One dad called 911's non-emergency line to ask for legal guidance. His son had shoplifted a candy bar and a magazine from Target, and instead of ignoring it, the dad marched the child back to the store, used the incident to teach him a valuable lesson with the help of store security.
That sounds like a good thing. That's how we grew up. I didn't steal anything, but that's what would have happened.
I took a licorice jelly bean. Oh, this answer is a question you asked earlier, but not from me, but from other people in my life. I took a licorice jelly bean, one single, not in a bag, from the bulk section of Winco when I was like maybe like 7.
My dad used to call that the sample section.
Exactly. Right?
No, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that is a bad thing.
Never had a black jelly bean before, wanted to try it out before I committed. Eat it, hated it.
Of course.
My parents made me go pay for it and tell the check stand worker what I did. And it's like Winco, there's like a mile long line, and I'm like, you're wasting everybody's time. And so now they always get me black licorice jelly beans.
Oh my God, your family is just...
Oh, so they hate me in case there is any question about it. It's like the roast, the Comedy Central roast, but for 34 years of my life. The last one I have for you today is mall security gets in a sit. A man dropped his phone in a bush outside a mall, and instead of trying to retrieve it himself, he borrowed a security guard's phone to call 911. He requested officers come to help him find it, and the bush was kind of big and prickly. Dispatch, of course, did not send anyone.
Damn.
So
gonna have to file a report on that.
I am going to print these out and post them on my wall as my daily affirmations when I'm feeling a little extra stupid, just to remind myself that I'm not that stupid.
I mean, what is the number for 911? Like, how do people get it anyway?
I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
So this is my final story of the podcast, and it's crazy because it's crazy, but I want you to think while I read it that this exact same thing happened to me. So, and I mean fucking, when I say verbatim, the only thing that's different is this involves a Home Depot, and I was just at home. So I mean,
sans the depot.
You're gonna, okay, here goes. Today I fucked up story is a 1-part rom-com, 1-part heart attack, and it starts in the plumbing aisle of a Home Depot.
Oh no.
So this guy and his girlfriend were out shopping for a new shower head, role-playing as boring suburban homeowners. He jokes, I just want to build a life with you and maybe a tile backsplash someday. She laughs and says, wow, that almost sounded like your proposal. Now, instead of just laughing it off, our guy gets down on one knee with a washer ring and says, will you marry me, babe?
Nope.
It's all fun and games until she says yes.
Nope.
Dead serious, voice trembling, misty-eyed. Now here's the kicker.
I'm uncomfortable.
He just goes with it. Now they're engaged. Families have been told there's a group chat, and still hasn't explained that it was a bit.
I'm gonna throw up.
So, too long didn't read says pretend to pose in Home Depot. She thought it was real, said yes. Now I'm too scared to explain. The readers comment recap. Reddit went feral with this one. Top advice: rip the band-aid off now. Waiting makes it worse.
Fucking do it.
One user pointed out she said yes to a washer ring. She's either head over her heels or completely unhinged. There were full sitcom comparisons, people begging OP to document hijinks as the lie inevitably spirals into wedding invites, a venue deposit, and possibly naming a dog Grout.
No.
Some even suggested a gentle pivot. Just tell her it was a spontaneous, out of love, but now you need to slow down.
How long have they been together?
So it actually ended, but I went ahead and got the full thing with the comments. So the question is to our listeners is, have you ever taken a joke too far or had to live with it? Would you come out clean or start picking out backsplash style?
Or call the witness?
Right. And before I started this, I told you that this exact same thing happened to me.
But at home.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was with the girl who is the son of my mother and now my ex-wife.
No.
And I was going to give her a promise ring. So I already loved her, to the moon and beyond. And she just said yes when I tried to give her an I love you ring.
Well, I'm uncomfortable.
And the reason, hold on, hear me out. She's sitting on the bed, fucked up. Like, that was how I got into alcohol, was drinking with her. And so I got down on my knee to get into her face area, not in her zone. It was all good. The vibes were there.
Okay, you fucked up.
And yeah.
You fucked up.
And she said yes.
Yes.
And I literally went oh, word, okay. And she doesn't know this. My son doesn't know this. I don't think a lot of people know this. I went all the way through with it. Yeah.
I'm so sweaty right now. That is, I think.
If you saw my baby, the mother of my child, she's pretty fucking scary. But yeah, I didn't. But also, I did want to marry her, which is I didn't want to do it right then and there.
For sure.
We were married 3 months later. You know what I mean? At the age of 22 or 23, it was too soon. And
yeah, it doesn't mean that
we
it's
had our son.
It.
Yeah, we had our son after we were divorced.
Thing. Yeah. Okay.
Her mom divorced us illegally. She was a paralegal.
Yeah.
She's the paralegal in my hometown.
Yes.
And illegal. Yeah.
I need her phone number.
Yeah. Oh, let me pull up before we go. We've got the top comment. 6,000 upvotes. Similar here. My girlfriend's father said he knew a discount jewelry guy if we were ever thinking of getting jewelry or a ring or chain or whatever. Cool. Then a month later, he says the only guy is in town, so we all go to see what he has. My girlfriend picked out a ring, I paid, and we were engaged. Wait, what?
No.
That was 48 years ago. She's been a fantastic wife. I couldn't have done better if I had picked my own wife.
Oh!
Wait. And then they put still ... And then the comment on that was, this one sounds like it might make the distance. 48 years in.
Fuck.
OP in 2025. Think I fucked up by celebrating my 50th wedding anniversary with a woman I was afraid to break up with after a joke proposal. Buddy, if you don't want this, you gotta rip the band-aid off now. We heard that comment. Maybe she knew you were joking and now you're both playing high-stakes marriage chicken.
Imagine they're both just sweating. Oh, this is my nightmare scenario.
Yeah, now we're married.
But I'm simultaneously not the person. I would be able to rip the band-aid off.
For
My
sure.
worst nightmare is being in that situation, but being somebody who can't.
I was that person. I couldn't. Now I could. I'd be hey, before this I'd use all my words.
It's a fucking washer.
But yeah, back then there was no, and the ring I got her was it was a ring that I had found out that this was, I don't know if it's still a thing, but if you buy jewelry, your credit fucking shoots up because you're microfinanced and and so it was a $500 ring and I had to put $200 down, you know what I mean? So it was just what should I get?
Yeah.
They didn't have any necklaces in the price range, so
it was just a decision.
And I was I'll just get her a love ring or whatever.
Because it's not
and I hadn't gotten her shit for Christmas, so I'm this will be a save.
Yeah.
You know?
You hadn't actually put the thought into an engagement ring situation. Fuck, that is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I hate that.
She got her name, my name, Aaron Michael, tattooed down her back. So
Oh,
there was a lot of like, it was cool for a while, you know, like
there's
it was a
worse
crazy.
than that
Oh,
tattoo.
oh yeah.
I know a girl who dated one of my ex-boyfriends after I dated him, and she got his name,
Uh-oh.
which is the
Where?
worst name.
Oh no.
Across, like above,
Like what I got, but his name.
name in like Old English.
Oh my God, like the Tupac thing.
Marty. Marty.
Oh,
Sexy.
what about like you couldn't go with like Martin or like there's nothing
His
close.
other name, James.
MJ? So at least you have options. Okay, so I'm gonna end this just with a funny thing. Somebody asked, "So when's the wedding?" Somebody replied, "After they install the backsplash."
I'm dead.
All right, let's do our outros.
Oh, that was brutal. That was a rough one.
And obviously, this is our first episode, so we're gonna be dialing shit in from here.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It's nice getting it out of the way.
I like
like
it though.
now knowing
Definitely.
this is fun too,
Yes,
just
I
like
like
for
it.
me.
I like it. Okay, we're just read it right off the computer.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, that's a wrap on episode 1 of AJHD, where the chaos is unfiltered, the stories are stranger than fiction, and the distractions are proudly on brand.
So we've covered everything from the creepiest coworkers to the dumbest 911 calls with a healthy dose of lizard drama, scrunchie theft, to put it lightly, and accidental engagements at Home Depot.
If you enjoyed this ride through the ADHD multiverse, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, follow us on your favorite podcast app, and leave a review if you're feeling generous.
Or better yet, share this episode with a friend who talks too much during movies or someone who can never find their phones. They're definitely one of us.
Yeah. New episodes drop every week, and trust us, things are only going to get weirder.
Thank you for letting our chaos be a part of your chaos. And remember,
open tabs.
Oh,
We'll do that one again. Open tabs, open minds. Let's
get weird. Sorry, I saw that my doctor was calling me.